I'm back again. This is video 2. My second video. Today is June 15th. Let me check my heart rate. '89. It was 105 not too long ago. Yeah, we're back again. Grateful. I don't even know where to start from. I've tried to do this video like 4 times. Just different things just popping up. I'm still using my phone. One of the reasons why I'm still doing that, I have a lot of fire and air going on, which is allowing me to buy into procrastination. So I just want to get this done and get it out of the way without trying to seek out perfectionism, video editing and all that excuses. Because the whole goal is I'm here to honor my soul. Getting my voice back, coming back into the body again. After an awakening, whatever you want to call it. Last video I was talking about the intensity, and obviously less than 7 days after we've seen what's going on in the world. We've seen all the noise, the chaos, the riots, the fallouts, the killings, the natural disasters. One may look at it from a perspective of doom, or you can look at it as a perspective of growth and change. Even as I'm talking to you, the second intention behind this video is to talk about the body experience with all of these changes that is going on. As one begins to attune to the energy of nature, which is the way that the olden days, the medieval time we used to live, by aligning our cycles with nature itself. And it's very challenging having your body to be attuned with nature, especially with the ongoing society where that is a contrast of what we are used to. So for me, I mentioned again in the last video that I wanted to go to the Himalayas to finish this up, but my soul refused, and the choice was to go into this, get into this nitty-gritty society and not run from it. And not like those they are running, they are not. They are also performing their own duties in balancing the energies from that aspect of the world. Could be their own personal soul's calling in this lifetime. But everybody is playing a role, nobody is left out. Everybody is as crucial as the air that we breathe. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about with the body, for me, my body has been pummeled from anxiety, tension, pain, a lot of suffering due to the attachments that I have in the programs that I'm running. Like there's still the stories of lack of self-worth, low self-esteem, people pleasing, all that story, just stories that are running in the background that is causing the seeking to continue. And there's nothing I can do about it. Trying to control it is you're trying to control what's going to end up controlling you. So this is how my own, I don't even want to use that word surrender, that word ticks me off. This is how my own, this is how I continue to die every day to the process. There's still ongoing battles in the eternal realms. And you come back here, after finishing that, you come back here and trying to compose yourself in reality. And then you deal with the one that are occurring in the physical. And the way the planet is shaped now, the planet is moving way faster than it used to, than it is used to. Simply because we are moving too fast, too fast. And we're just consuming, rather than nurturing the land and nurturing ourselves. And I speak I'm a very good example of that. How I keep on abandoning myself. Well, it's not me, it's the body that keeps abandoning itself to please and help others. An old way of the really old way of spiritual practice, which I don't think is necessary anymore. And that's why a lot of those spiritual masters in the past had diseases because of that process. Most of them, I guess. Because we just lean into the awareness, and there's a blurred line between being aware and conscious and disassociating from the body. A very blurred line there. So you think you're doing it, but you might be bypassing. So for me, typically when I wake up, I have to talk myself back into the body with the points that I know that are frequent pains. Some of these pains are not even mine. It just comes up. So like when I walk for my daily retreat for nature, I'll leave the house perfectly. Like I'm perfect, nothing's wrong with my body. I'm walking. The next thing I notice, leg cramps, swollen legs. I just pick up things everywhere. And then by the time I get there, I can barely move. And then the body locks again into survival mode. Then I have to kind of breathe, meditate to come back into the body and relax and let it all go and process all what is being absorbed. Some call it clear cognizant. I don't know, one of the clairs, like the gifts of what the senses are when the DNA of the body begins to expand. So for me, the challenges that I'm having now predominantly are from the left side of the body, which I think is the female aspect, which is the gift of the mother. And the right is the masculine aspect, the gift of the father. And the middle is just the middle, neutral. And they refer to this as nadis in Hinduism. So these channels are, one is for nurturing, one is for action, and one is for just center. And the one on the left side, which I think we're currently moving through globally, which is resolving the matriarchal, resolving the mother archetype, feminine archetype, whatever you want to call it again, that story there, just women. Trying to resolve all of those gifts that they presented us with based on their own limitations and their own wisdom that they had. That was contrast to the wisdom that we were born into their womb as, is what I believe is predominantly being resolved now. So it's showing up. You have the tight pelvis on the left side for me. I can barely even move that. Then the tension when there's a trigger or external stimulant that is coming from the outside, right? It can come from anywhere. The body just locks into survival mode simply because there are other trauma, inflammation, all these stories that the body has been feeling safe enough to move through what is being coming, what is being processed through the mainframe. The stimulation is over. When I mean over the top, it's too much. Based on my own body, I'm not the divine. Based on my own body's experience. So, for example, last night around 11 p.m., 12 p.m., the solar storms came in again. Boom. It was nasty. And after doing all my self-care routines, even still, it was just enough to be able to allow me fall asleep. Excuse me. And this nervous system is just going. And okay, so that's the spiritual side of things, right? Now let's show you. Let me just kind of like explain how it's playing out now. So currently I'm in Minnesota, and Minnesota is a water state. They have about 10,000 lakes, so it's predominantly water. The element is water, and that's why you can see practically it's a very nice state. People are very nice. They are kind. They are soft. They are easy. They are gentle. And for the past 3 months now, we've been having wildfires, right? Random wildfires due to the excessive heat. And we have not even kicked off the summer season yet. So you can imagine the amount of imbalance that we have for wildfires to be popping up in different locations when the state is predominantly water. So there is a tip of balance there where you can see that the tectonic plate is just causing stuff to come out. And this is now playing out in our reality because when fire is not channeled properly, it can turn up as anger. And if fire is channeled, one of the ways to channel fire properly is to burn through what no longer serves us. So the inner fire burns through all these impurities. So when I was referring to the left channel of the feminine aspect, for me, the fire needed to burn through all those lifetimes of, it depends on the soul. I think for the soul, some souls, it can be from the journey to the pelvis, to the scapula, shoulder blade. It can be 30,000 years, 40,000 years. It depends on the soul. And in the body, you have, I think this is even, I'm going into depth for it. This is not really defeating what I'm trying to point at. But the main thing that I'm trying to say is if you're out there and you're having all these ascension symptoms, this body crazy knowledge that the wisdom the body has, that is kind of like sometimes in conflict with what the mind is trying to do, you're not alone. I'm getting my own ass kicked too. But there's tension. Tension builds up in the body. And so the channels are like this, like left and right, male and masculine. And so when anything that doesn't feel familiar, that is against what I believe in, that I think is love, what the body knows as love, if I feel, get into that duality of what goes against my belief, it just shuts down like this. And this is like the left and the right in the middle of the chest, right? I mean, on the side and the left side of the chest, right side of the chest. And then when the shutdown comes, it closes down like this, and then it compresses on the skull. So then the pressure now pulls down on the skull, and then the energy from the planet beneath the feet compresses. That's basically what it is. And that's how shutdown really feels like. When you are closed off, shut down, you just compress. Dimming your light, some will call it dimming your light, playing small, self-sabotage. All those stories are there. But that's just how it feels like, constricted in there, fear, playing little. Because in the mind and the body, the system feels that it needs to protect something in there. And to be honest, there's nothing to protect. It's just the programs of holding on to what you don't need, what no longer serves. But it's not at the divine time for the body to release it. So I just flow, even though sometimes it brings frustration because of the things that I want to do, the projects that I want to do that are kind of like joyful. So there are some people that I've aligned with that are really seeking the peace, global peace. Praying, meditating daily together, praying that peace continues to reign, hearts continue to open. Because if one heart is fully open in one country, I can tell you the magic that heart can perform is unbelievable. One heart, just one fully open heart. The amount of power that heart can hold, the amount of positivity and love that heart can push in the quantum field that will affect every single organism and object is I don't even have words to say. And that's what we're all praying and pushing for, that the heart should open completely and tear down the walls so that we begin to live in this dharmic timeline, live in the will of God. So with all these intensities, sparking all this fire, riots, killings, because the fire heat is burning, the planet is trying to grow as well. The planet is evolving. She's a spirit. She's growing as well as everyone. Change is permanent. You have to grow. So another thing that I experience is when you see the pressure from the thoughts and everything that you're carrying, that you're just playing a role or martyrdom or the spikes, which is very interesting. This martyrdom archetype, self-sacrificing. As I begin to play with it, one thing that I saw there that was very interesting was Jesus Christ and what the spiritual people refer to as Christ consciousness. So I began to see the significance of, see the significance of the crucifixion. And how that reflects the impact of the soul's path on the body. The thorns on Jesus Christ that was ridiculed because he called himself the King are still things that we are currently experiencing in these dynamics as the prophets are being, crucified, chastised, and haunted and bullied. Like Bob Marley sang in Redemption song that the prophecy needs to be fulfilled. The books need to be fulfilled. That's how it is. The books need to be fulfilled. And that can translate into balancing the karmic stories, karmic lifetimes. So for me now, also that I've been here on this rodeo for a while, what looks like a recurring 6 years or 7 years of karmic cycle, compassion is met with it, because I understand that I'm burning things of different lifetimes. And even this video is part of the path to honor my soul's request of recollecting my voice. Because a lot of us have been burnt by burnt stake, burned at the crucified for speaking our truth, burned at the wood, different things, nailed down, chastised. What's very, very interesting is the way Jesus Christ was crucified based on the words that he was spreading then are still what we're still going through now in a different way. And it's very beautiful to see that people want to enter into Christ consciousness, right? This is very interesting. People want to go in through the path of Christ consciousness or choose Jesus Christ as their personal savior. But when speaking in that perspective or in that mindset, arrogance is met by those that are unresolved shadows. So it's nothing new. If Jesus were to come back now, they'll still do the same thing, because that's what's still going on now. So the prophets are still being assassinated, and they're tired of speaking, because why? They feel they'll just go to one quiet spot and continue to pray for the peace than showing up and speaking and then having been attacked. And the interesting part of this path of this Christ consciousness is that's not the end of the road. It's just another destination, an anchor point that the soul can evolve to. Beyond that, there's more after that. Because even Jesus said it himself that if you believe in me, you don't know the words specifically. If you believe in me, you can do the same as I and even more. Something like that. So he directly was saying, I am the path, but I'm not the path. You can get through me, but don't think it's about me. So that deflection of external projection of one's power and one's existence into something outside of one's own being, while honoring the inner core wisdom of the master within. Anyways, we continue to pray for peace. I continue to pray for peace. And I continue to show up for myself as much as I can. And there are certain people that I've signed these contracts with for them to see my videos and begin to spark the seed in their story. So I'm showing up for you as well. I'm showing up for me, showing up for you all. And I'm showing up for the divine. And I'm showing up for peace. Because I mentioned in the last video, to be honest, I don't like talking. It's very exhausting. The words feel like when I'm talking, it feels like, because to be honest, silence is the key. I was saying it this morning that words feel like, when I'm speaking, it feels like my tongue is carrying a weight of 60 pounds every time I have to speak a word out. Because then you're just losing power. Conserving energy rather than consuming. but there's a reason why. So I'm showing up. And for everyone that's going through something that maybe feel misunderstood or haven't found your circle, it's okay to be alone for a while. Your parts, the group will always come. They will always come. Like me too. I've always been a loner. I've been a loner for almost 5 years now, and luckily for me, I align with the community that understands and sees where I'm going to and what I'm trying to achieve, and they've been very supportive. So I pray that all of us have that, be in a situation whereby that we are being seen and we see each other, and we can operate from a place of true love, not tolerance. Because I see in my own program, I'm operating a lot from a place of tolerance rather than true love, calling tolerance as love rather than true love. Because when true love, I don't even know what true love is. Because if I'm going to experience it, it's going to be speechless. So there's no point of expressing it. So yeah, here's to another day of honoring my soul. Thank you for everyone watching, and God continue to bless us and strengthen us, open our hearts and rain peace, and give us clarity in everything that we do. Thank you for watching.